Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here today. I'm looking forward to getting into all of our community's questions like we do every single weekend and have now for about 8 years. So pretty amazing that we've been together, especially as a community for this long. I hope that you've been here for as many years as the show has been going on. But even if you're new to the show, every single weekend, we answer about a dozen questions from the community. If you ever want to ask your own, you're welcome to. If you want to get it answered, basically same day, ask it at cabralsupportgroup.com. Definitely recommend joining the group. We'd love you to participate, ask a question, cheer people on. That's our community. It grows every single month by 1,000 or 2,000 people. I think we're somewhere around 25,000 people in that group. And that's amazing. That's all just organic growth, people coming together and asking for support and giving support. But on the weekend show, if you want to go to stephencabral.com/askcabral, do feel free to leave a question. I'm happy to answer them. It takes about 10 to 12 weeks to get your question read on air. All right, having said that, let's dive into the show. Let's get to the first question today. Opened up that document. Again, I don't do any prep work ahead of time. Not here to provide any medical advice, cures, diagnosis, or treatments. But what I do want to do is give you a second opinion and a place to look for what might be an underlying root cause as to why you're not feeling your best. All right? So Jenna says, do you have any recommendations for soft contact lens brands that are not as toxic? It's a great question. And you know what? Every once in a while on the show, I do get stumped, and I do not. I have not looked into this. I do not use contact lenses or glasses myself, except for blue blockers. But obviously, many people do. And so we should look into that. You know what? I'm going to write it down right now, and maybe we'll do a Friday review on a product. Let's see, contact lens. All right, it's on the list for a Friday review. But for now, what I want you to think about is going to EWG.org. That's the Environmental Working Group. It's a nonprofit. I donate to that group as well. Again, they're a nonprofit. And what they do is they actually look at the most non-toxic brands, as well as all brands, and they rate them by level of toxicity. So they do that for skincare products, and that's at Skin Deep, I believe it's called. But just go to EWG.org, and you'll find it, and I bet you'll be able to find a good contact lens brand that is non-toxic, okay? Anonymous is up next. Hi, I believe I have a question the other day about implants, but if implants are non-negotiable and you don't have the money to get them out, what are ways to support the body and make sure they are not causing harm? Okay, yes, I answered that on yesterday's show, and that was anonymous. I just want to make sure you wrote anonymous then as well. And so what I can recommend, yesterday's show, I gave you a lab test to run to see if there's mold or mycotoxins inside the body and potential inflammatory-based issues. Now, what you can always do, again, not providing any medical treatment plans, is that you can always do a functional medicine detox, ideally a 21-day, followed by the daily foundational protocol that I do every single day myself, and most people do in our private practice. And if you wanted to add one more thing on top of that, it would be the immunity protocol. So again, it's functional medicine detox, 21 days, followed by whatever you may need. Mold protocol if you need it. If not, just functional medicine detox, followed by daily foundational protocol, and then add on the immunity protocol if needed. All of those are at stephencabral.com/shop. That's my private practice. Again, you don't have to purchase anything there, but you can at least see what I'm talking about and the ingredients as well. And then yesterday I answered your question too on how to check. All right, Helen's up next. How to improve hydration when your water intake is already very high? Can you talk about dehydration, but specifically from the perspective of someone who gets enough water each day, and what additional tips and techniques could be adopted to help with absorption? Been this way for decades, 39 years old, 160-pound female, easily getting 130 fluid ounces a day on a daily basis, but not hydrating. Always thirsty, always drinking, always peeing, no diabetes or underlying issue, perpetual dry skin, dry eyes, thin hair. Add Himalayan salt to almost everything since I don't eat much processed food. Oh, that's a great question. So yeah, it looks like you're already looking into a lot of the cofactors, which is great because remember, it's not just about drinking more water, it's actually about absorbing that water. And so, I keep a bottle of water on my desk as well, and I'm hydrating throughout the day. I know for myself that I drink 3 liters of water per day, basically, close to 100 ounces a day. That's basically what I drink, sometimes more. And this individual, Helen, is at 130 fluid ounces. And what is the math on that? Is it like 15 glasses a day? Let's just see here. 130 divide by 8, 16 glasses a day. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of water for sure. And the issue is that Helen's not absorbing it, which is quite common. And she's adding Himalayan sea salt, which is smart. Like that can help with the absorption. However, you may also need the potassium, and that can be part of it. And you also may have overactive adrenals. And so you might just be urinating a lot of it out, not absorbing it because of the sodium to potassium imbalance there as well. In my opinion, you may need more of all of the electrolytes, but I don't know. The majority of the electrolytes that we talk about are calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. You could add additional pieces to that, like phosphorus, chloride, etc. But anyway, those are the main ones we look at. So the other thing that we do is oftentimes people absorb their water better through making it into a smoothie with all the vitamins and minerals along with it and cofactors that may help with that absorption, plus a little bit of glucose, because believe it or not, glucose can help with that water absorption as well because it shuttles it into the muscles, etc. So I can't tell you exactly what you need, but if you run the Big 5, you will know much better. Now, let's say you can't run the Big 5 labs because of cost. Understood. Let's give you then what may be the most important. And for me, it's the minerals and metals test. And then after that, it is the stress, mood, and metabolism test. Because the first one will look at your electrolytes. And the second will actually look at the adrenals, thyroid as well, which could be part of the dry skin, right? Dry eyes, thin hair, that can be thyroid as well. So that's what I would do. Like at minimum, I would run the minerals and metals test and the stress, mood, and metabolism. And then if I could do one more, it'd be the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, right? To look at those vitamins and all that. And if you can, run the Big 5. Yeah, that's what I would do. I think you'll have your answer after you do that. All right, Laura's up next. Hi, I'm listening to the podcast about insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, and I'm confused about the information that the problem is mixing carbohydrates with fats. Is this only with processed oils or every fat? Because obviously we're supposed to have carbs, protein, and fat at every meal, right? Sorry, just trying to make sure. Also, are raw plant-based sweets like cheesecake a problem then? There's a high amount of fat in there from nuts and seeds, and there are high sugar carbs from dried fruit like dates and other. Thank you so much for helping out. Have a great day, everyone. Okay, thanks, Laura, for writing in. So again, I've done 2,725 podcasts. And I say that only because my podcasts are about 15 to 20 minutes long. I don't give all the information in one podcast. So I just want to make sure that like they're by categories. So I also write down like weight loss, and I write down all the different categories. If you go to stephencabral.com/podcast and you scroll through, you can go deep on a category, in which I recommend, and they're all free. So here's the thing. I'm not saying that insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes are created by having high fats and high carbs together. I'm saying it's one of the ways, which is true, right? So like, let's say you have a cheeseburger. You've got high fat, you've got your bread, you've got your fake ketchup that a lot of people, at restaurants they use because it's just high fructose corn syrup. It's not actually tomato, right? So again, I want to be clear. Yes, that is one of the reasons. Eating healthy fats and carbs together, when not overdone, doesn't seem to be an issue. Think of the Mediterranean diet. It's about 50 to 60% carbs, 30% fat, about 15 to 20% protein, right? When we look at that, we say, this is not a diet that's going to cause, for most people, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, etc. If anything, it's the number one diet to oppose all of those. So the issue is when we go overboard. And keep in mind that a lot of these paleo, raw vegan, plant-based sweets are and can be one of the culprits because they're well over 100 grams per sitting, like in a piece of cheesecake, along with like 100 grams of sugar from all the dates and all that. I'm not against coconut with all the amount of fat in it. I'm not against almonds or nuts. Again, they look great in terms of overall health and longevity. Not against even dates, even though they're higher in the glycemic index, because when we look at it, the absorption seems to be pretty steady. So the issue is when you combine all of these things together and we make something that would be unnatural from nature, that's when we run into problems. We don't run into problems with something like beans, which again are also typically cardioprotective. Why? They contain carbs and fat and protein, and we seem to be okay. So again, I hope that cleared it up. It's not the end all be all. It's doing these things on a daily basis. And also you can track your blood sugar with a continuous glucose monitor. I have one coming up on a Friday review, a brand new one that I'll be recommending. That'll be at stephencabral.com/resources as well. I talk about it already inside of HPH, which is High Performance Health. That's highperformancehealth.org. So yes, don't overdo it. Eat things as close to nature as possible. You know, cheesecakes, that cheesecake is a dessert, even if it's plant-based, right? So every once in a while, maybe once a week, and I think you'll be much better off there. Okay, and then you can always test your glucose levels as well. And if you're elevated 5 hours later after having that glucose, after having that cheesecake, that's a problem, or any food 5 hours later. All right, Kelsey's up next. Hi, Dr. Bral. I'm thoroughly grateful for everything you're putting into the world. Thank you. Thank you, Kelsey. Appreciate that. Quick question regarding fruit consumption. There are mixed messages about eating fruit alone or paired with something else. I'm a pita body type, and I've read when eating fruit to eat it by itself for better digestion. However, I've been told to never eat fruit without a form of protein in order not to raise the glycemic index. What are your thoughts? Okay, so my thoughts are this, that we as Westerners have gone overboard with needing to balance blood sugar all day long to keep it super static. No one in the history of the planet has ever done that. And also, I've shared this before, I've shared even a little clip on Instagram, why I'm not saying that you should spike your blood sugar, okay? Like, I just want to be clear about that. But a blip in blood sugar from eating fruit and it comes back down within an hour, like a single fruit mono meal, is okay. Like, again, if you have normal, healthy, regulated blood sugar, what can it help with? Well, it can help with cortisol, it can help with stress, it can give your muscles glycogen and your liver glycogen and give you energy. You can do it before a workout. So it depends on the individual. Am I doing straight fruit for someone that needs to lose 30 pounds? No, like I don't necessarily need to do that. I'm going to be doing more vegetables. I'm going to be doing some clean proteins, right? Some lean protein, all those different things. And then can you combine it with protein? You can. I would only combine fruit with a plant-based protein because it does not mix at all with meats. So I definitely wouldn't do that. The whole prosciutto wrapped in melon, yeah, I definitely would not recommend that. They digest very differently. Fruit should be digested fairly quickly, and meat's going to take hours to digest in the stomach. Now, I mix mine with a plant-based protein smoothie. Why? And I've shared this before in many podcasts. I'm blending everything together. So what I'm doing is I have fiber, I have protein, I have fruits, and it's allowing for simple digestion. I pre-digested it by making it into a smoothie or a smoothie bowl. So it works well for myself and my clients. We've been doing this now for decades, and you'll just see maybe if it works for you. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. All right, it looks like we are going to keep it at that for today. So I appreciate all of your time. Each and every weekend, we answer the Cabral community questions. So I appreciate you writing in. And tomorrow, tune back in. We'll be going over our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Take care, everybody. I'll talk with you on that show. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.